Got no reaction video home. And today, we ain't reacting to the normal. We got react to some like Llama arts. If y'all know what that is, like scary stories and anime. Well, animated, I'm saying animated. And the first one we gonna watch is Home Invasion Horror Story animated. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, share, and get you this because this is fire.
It was a cold, foggy evening when I contacted a close friend of mine to stay at my place for the night. Both of us were only 10 years old at the time, and my parents were often at work until midnight, so I was usually alone with nothing to do except watching a television show or reading a book.
So close to TV. That's
my
what I
friend
did.
Alex had agreed to come over and brought a game of Monopoly to pass some time. I also asked if he was interested in going to explore an abandoned subway station 3 miles away. He seemed excited at first, so we planned to go on the trip in the morning. I remembered that the subway dated back to the mid-1920s and became abandoned in 1932 after the market crash in 1929.
Subway?
I was very fascinated about its history, but never got the chance to go inside after my parents had warned me not to enter. As I quietly slept in my bed, I heard what sounded like a gunshot coming from the forest behind the house. Both of us woke up, frightened after what we had heard, and I told my friend not to worry, as hunters tend to go into the forest on frequent occasions, but when I checked the time, it was 11:39 p.m. This seemed very unusual, as hunters only came into the forest between 8 p.m. and 10 p.m. I looked at Alex and decided to get out of my bed, intending to look through the window and spot for anyone in the forest. The darkness clouded my vision, so I was unable to see anyone in the forest. I turned around and looked at Alex again, when suddenly I heard the front door squeak open. Chills went down my spine. Both of us quietly moved to the bathroom, locked the door, and kept the light off. It was the only safe place in the house. Both of us were terrified as we desperately tried to keep as calm as we could. We heard footsteps getting louder and louder until they stopped in front of the bathroom door. And then this is when the most terrifying sound forced my heart to almost burst. Both of us screamed as the person chopped the door to pieces.
See?
It was pitch black.
See, that's what you're not supposed to do. You're not supposed to scream. Cause that's like in the, school lockdowns. You're not supposed to scream and like you don't want to know you're there. You don't want them to know you're there. But them screaming, messed up already. Look at his face. Already.
Inside the room, making it hard to find the vent, and by the time I spotted the vent, the person behind the door had made a hole big enough for us to see him. The man adorned black leather and was wearing a plague doctor mask. I scurried back to the vent, but it was too high above the floor for us to reach it, so Alex told me to go first because he was the strongest. He lifted me up on his shoulders, allowing me to open the vent and crawl inside. When I looked at the door again, the man had managed to fit his arm through the hole and reached for the lock. I quickly grabbed Alex's hand, but struggled to pull him up into the vent. "Alex!" I shouted, and began going after him. I pursued the figure until I was led to the abandoned subway deep within the forest. It was chilly and foggy, meaning that I could only see objects within a range of 5 to 6 yards. Inside the subway was a pool of freezing cold water. It was so dark that I couldn't see anything. I had to rely on listening to the screams from Alex and
that's the source. I see your friend's face.
As I slowly walked through the subway, I was now struggling to breathe under the intense stress and fear of the situation. I called, but there was no response. I continued walking through the water until the exit was no longer visible. I was now experiencing a massive panic attack. I had lost track of Alex, and I had no idea where I was or how to get out. Where are you, Alex?
You got them sharp glasses on, you better see. Alex was confirmed dead. Damn, he died hanging from the ceiling. His college friend remains missing. His closest friend, I mean. Alright, we're gonna watch another one just for the culture. Just for the culture. That was actually good though. Can't believe he died. I didn't know it was gonna end like that. Let's watch. Let's watch this next one. I forgot. Dang, he don't post at all. A college horror story.
It was an early morning. My campus didn't offer housing and I lived about a half a mile from school, so I started my journey as usual while playing on my phone. I glanced up to see an old man heading towards me on a bicycle. Normally, I'd step aside to let bikers and skaters pass, but he braked instead.
That's weird.
I stopped
Why
too,
the old man on a bike?
wondering if there was something wrong.
Well,
he walked up to me
I
and
not say
said,
that, bro.
Don't worry, I'm not gonna hurt you.
And you sound like that?
I felt chills instantly.
I'm gone.
I didn't know what to
I'm gonna
think.
smack you.
I just looked up at him with a fearful and confused expression. I was gathering up the courage to tell him that I was late for class and I should go, but before I could say anything, he said,
Get off the grass!
Looking down, I noticed I had stepped over towards the road and onto the grass. I stepped off slowly and he said,
You wouldn't want to step on any bugs or get your shoes dirty now, would you?
He raised his finger and asked me what my name was. I told him.
Why you telling me your name? You're black. You should know. You should know, not telling me nothing.
The same chills ran through my body again, but before I could say anything, the man said,
Get off the grass! You wouldn't want to step on any bugs or get your shoes dirty now, would you?
Can you repeat it again?
I looked down to see that I was back on the edge of the sidewalk again. This had to be deja vu. He asked for my name once more. I said my name again,
this little
and
kid in the
interrupted me
background.
before I could finish.
Looking all
He
weird.
told me his grandchildren are down the road and needed gas money. I told him I didn't have any spare change or any change at all for that matter. He continued to ask me again.
You still in the
and I
grass.
gave him the same answer. Eventually, I
Walking
headed
in
towards
the
my
grass.
school. I turned to see if he was still there, but he was gone. As I
That's
was
creepy.
walking, I approached the intersection. There was a truck on its side. It must have tipped over while turning the corner.
What is that? Oh, it's a ghost. It's a ghost. Llamas?
If you want to help support the channel, head on over to the brand new Llama Arts merch store. It has new stuff available like updated t-shirt designs,
I don't want to pick on this too long. Like that. I don't want to pick on it too long. Let's do a bus stop horror story animated. Hope y'all enjoying the video. Like, sub.
This happened when I was 17 years old. I would go to the gym 3 to 4 times a week and ride the bus
Watch
home.
my other videos
It
too.
was a Sunday and I had just missed my bus, so I had to wait longer for another one. I would have called my parents, but they were out for the evening, and taxis charged more, so I decided to sit and wait
Why is
at
there
the bus
nobody
shelter.
outside?
It was a cold night, and
Why
snow
you
had
the
just
only
started
one out
peppering
there?
the ground. My bus was taking longer than
See, now we got
usual, so
Ubers
I got my
nowadays.
phone out and listened to some music.
But I don't really like Ubers.
Almost an hour had passed.
I don't know lifts.
It was freezing and I hadn't seen anyone at all. That was until I noticed something out of the corner of my eye. It was a creepy guy dressed in thick layers of clothing, walking slowly towards me. My phone.
Scary. You mean ugly?
He sat
Ugly.
down at the other end of the shelter.
Oh
and just
no,
stared
I ain't
at
with
me.
that.
There was something
I ain't
off
with that. I
about
would have
him.
been gone.
He seemed like he was either
He's
drunk
staring
or
at you
on
too. I'm
drugs.
gone.
He then asked.
Look how he's sitting.
I took out my earphones and said,
What'd he say?
I think it's delayed because of the snow.
Why are you
He
talking
stared
to
at me
him?
for a while, then started mumbling to himself. He was really starting to creep me out, so I pretended
He
to be
don't
on
look
my phone.
okay.
After a couple of minutes, I took another look. He moved closer to me.
Nope.
I looked away for a second
Nope.
and heard the sound of
Nope.
him
Matter of fact,
sliding
no.
closer.
Right in the face,
I
man.
turned to him and said,
Oh, you
You
getting
okay
closer too?
there?
Go ahead.
he stared at
ahead.
me with glossy eyes,
Pull out a rifle.
lifted his arm and leaned towards me. Immediately,
Punch
I
him.
grabbed my bag and ran as he fell to the
Oh,
ground.
you stupid. You thought you
I
were gonna
ran
touch
down
me.
the road
Ain't you
trying my
fell.
hardest not to look back.
I kept going until I got to the next bus stop.
Why are you running?
I turned around to check to see if he was there. He was
We don't
gone,
run.
so I went to sit
Why you
down.
back?
Feeling relieved, I rested
Unless
my
they
head
have,
on
like,
the
a
back
weapon.
of the glass and waited for the bus.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, and you went to sleep? Stupid.
I jolted
Stupid.
and turned around to see the same guy staring at me through the glass.
Yo.
What the hell is wrong with you?
Yo. What you
Then
talking
he started
about?
walking
He want the
around the
booty.
shelter towards me.
I'm warning you, stay back.
I yelled in panic as I
Yeah.
was backing up.
Yeah.
I wanted to run, but
And you
I
left
left
your
my
bag,
in
dummy.
the shelter, and
Are
I
you
couldn't
walking?
leave without it. Suddenly, the man leaped
Punch
at me, and I quickly moved out of the way.
Ew.
He fell to the ground face first. I froze in shock, then
Face
noticed the
first.
blood coming from his face. I tried to get a response out of him, but nothing worked. I called the police and paramedics, and they arrived
Stupid.
shortly after.
You gotta be
I
some
told them what had
stupid.
happened, and they told me that
dude.
the guy was on prescription drugs.
How you?
They found
Why
a
you?
photo in his wallet of him and
You
his
know what?
son. The boy looked just like
Be
me, so I
alive.
assumed he thought I was him.
You should have
I
punched
later
him, but
learned
I
that
guess
he
he
lost
died.
his son in a custody battle and went off the rails. He was taken
He
away
lost
for
his son.
treatment. That was the last I saw of him. I
Mm.
got my driver's license shortly after, and have never been on a bus
Yeah, you
since.
should have been had a driver's license. Oh, you saw that little head. Hope y'all enjoyed the video. Let me know if I should do more of these. Some more vlogs coming out, Masso videos, and like, subscribe, share, be a real G, and be like me.